Everybody ready? We're gonna start with Denise just because she has to step out for a second. Denise, I loved the opening you did where you were like, raise your hand if you've ever been camping. I think that's a really cool way to open your presentation. You had great eye contact, great projection. I like that you used humor, emotion. There was some vocal variation in there. The movement this time was purposeful, which was great. And I did notice that you used your arms more. You didn't need your card. I don't think. I don't remember you looking at it really at all. Maybe one time, but it seemed like it was such a passionate thing for you that you could just speak extemporaneously on it. You didn't need to really reference your card. So just be wary of using that as like a little bit of a crutch to kind of like hold on to. So you, like I said, you didn't need it. But I feel like even with the card, your physicality has gotten so much better just between that first speech and this one. So great job. Round of applause for Denise.
Yay! Now we're going to go to Sarah, who's first. Watch your volume. It was interesting because this was something you were passionate about, but I felt like you were quieter than the first time. And that is also on me. I wanted to do a vocal warm-up when we came back. I forgot to do that. So it took a while for, I feel like, everyone's volumes to get a little bit louder. I love that I wrote teeny tiny tone. You were like, the teeny tiny, like you changed your tone up. I thought that was great. Really good eye contact with people, and you stood away from the wall, which was excellent. Give Sarah a round of applause.
All right. You had two,
Kevin,
right?
yeah, Kevin, hi. You stood kind of far back than you did the last time, but there was less side to side. There was still there a little bit, but I felt like you were aware of it. You put your eyes up at times to think, and you could be a little bit louder. But you have an expressive voice. There were times where you were full of awe, and you conveyed that to us, and that is really interesting for when you to the listeners. Give Kevin a round of applause.
All right. Next was Pohai. Pohai, you were super. Where are you? Oh, right there. You were super animated, which I loved. That was fantastic. Your movement this time was really purposeful, which was great. Great eye contact, great use of your hands. You put pauses in this time, which was really fantastic. I did love your little bit at the top where you're like, I was told I couldn't talk about malaria or whatever. Super fun little way to start the beginning. Your projection was great. There was a point when you started to kind of lose steam a little bit, and I could tell you were like, oh man, when's that like gonna happen? But you recovered from that, which was awesome, and then finished strong. So good job. I get round of applause.
All right, Justin, you were next. Really good, steady rate. And you also did a very nice job of putting in pauses when you were talking. I liked that a lot. You needed to bring your volume up a little bit and play around with your tone. It was very monotone. It was all at one level. And I also wrote, I don't think you needed the card. I think you glanced at it at one point, but I feel like you knew everything that you wanted to say about basketball. So trust it. All right, give Dustin a round of applause.
All right. Marilyn was next. Marilyn, I loved the opening. I thought that... Where's Marilyn? Oh, yeah. Sorry. I love the opening. I thought that was so unique and so cool. It was just grabbed everybody's attention immediately. The movement was super purposeful, great use of gestures. I love that when you were talking about the hand movements, you were doing them. That was super cool. Great projection, great emotion, great pauses, eye contact. I don't really have anything other than great that I really enjoyed the whole thing. This is super nitpicky and dumb, but if you are going to use music, you can hand your phone to your friend and be like, hey, press play when I do this or something to have someone do your tech for you. But I thought it was really, really good, and I really enjoyed it.
And I'm going to tack on, and this is a note to everyone, consider where you are in the day. If you are directly after lunch, do something attention grabbing. If you are the 15th of 15 presenters, do something attention grabbing. That you were only number 5, but it still roped us in. It's just a really great choice. Now, I'm not saying then, 1, 2, and 3 can phone it in, but just know where you are and how to tackle that. I have seen presenters say, okay, everybody stand up, hands up, take a forward bend, shake it off. Just because when people are sitting and listening, they get fatigued. Whatever you can do to grab people's attention when you're presenting.
Awesome.
Okay.
Great job.
Let's give her a round of applause.
6 was Daniel.
Yes.
Awesome. Daniel, really good physicality. I thought it was so much more relaxed this time and you used your body better. Great smile, great eye contact. You planted mostly. There was only like a couple times where you kind of like shifted your weight a little bit, but overall such a big difference from the last time and great projection. I can hear you really well this time. So good job.
You also have 7.
I do have 7.
Several in a row.
Oh my gosh. Carlin. I said it right this time, didn't I? Okay, good. Great eye contact. I love that you talked about your son again. So the emotion really came through, which was really lovely. You planted, which was awesome. You could project even a little more. I had a little trouble hearing you, so feel free to project even more. Your arms, mostly good. You didn't need your card. And you held it here most of the time and just kind of like did this and like protected yourself with it. You don't even need it. Put it in your pocket, put it in your purse, whatever. And then it gives you that freedom to use your arms even more. But yeah, great job. Round of applause.
Nice. Griffin, you were next. Talking about cooking. Really good tonal shifts. You went from, ooh, that looks good. I can't do that. Like you really played around with your voice. I love food. Loved all of that. You have a wry sense of humor, which you brought to the presentation, which was really great. I still think you could nail down your feet or make a little bit more intention. I know you were trying to be intentional with your pacing. It still came off a little wandery. And your eye contact, because you were wandering, your eye contact was a little bit scattered. So I would challenge you to present planted and really be intentional with the eye contact. Because how you were saying it was so interesting. Now bring it to making eye contact with people. Round of applause. Yeah. Yep. Christina with the junk journaling. Oh, first of all, you did get me hooked.
I know, I want to try
did
it.
get volume. I think you could have increased your volume a little bit. Good intentional crossing. I felt like you did cross, and then you made a statement, and then you crossed over here. You addressed this side of the audience. Bring your eyes down to the audience. You were looking a little bit right above us. Really good not using the card. You didn't bring one up. You didn't need it. You knew what you wanted to say. Give Christina.
All right, Kristen. Great opener. I loved asking a question to start. That was really nice. Great intonation, great eye contact. Again, your smile is great. I like that you planted. You used your arms really well. The one thing I really have the only note for is project more. Like I was having trouble hearing you even right at that table. So just all of that stuff, put that into more projection, more air behind your voice. And I really, really could have elevated it even more. But and at the very end, I wrote "hang in there," and then you did it because I could tell you were starting to lose steam and be like, "When is this over?" So just hang in there, and then you did pivot and finish strong. So good job. Round of applause.
All right, Mariel. I loved your presentation. And I hate androids, so that says.
I know, me too. My husband has one. It's like changed my mind.
I liked the rhetorical question. Really great vocal choices. You said something like, "The apps are free," and you paused to let that sink in. Really good gestures. You planted much more this time. You even stood a little bit wider so that you weren't tempted to sway your hips. I liked that. And a really good wrap up. And that is a note that goes out to everyone. You stuck the landing. You know how gymnasts do the little stick the landing? Whatever you said. So get yourself an Android today. Like however you wrapped up, it was, you don't want to deflate or lose that energy at the end, and you took it all the way across the finish line. Give Mariel a round.
Alrighty, Luke. Great job. Lovely open. I loved how you opened. Good planting, good eye contact. I liked your anecdote about your family and cooking with your family. Watch how holding the card at your waist and locking your arms. I don't think you needed your card. So you had that same issue of you kind of just held it here and like curled it and we're just kind of a little nervous energy going into that card. You didn't need the card. You knew what you were talking about. You had that presentation. Your projection was good. You can project even more. But overall, yeah, really great demeanor, great smile, engaging. Round of applause. Mm-hmm. And we got one more. Did you?
Two more.
I got one more on my end. Denise.
We already did Denise.
We already did that.
Oh
That's
my gosh, she got recycled back in.
You're
Awesome.
done.
Yes, I'm done.
Okay.
Bye. No.
All right. And so, Matt, this was interesting. So you talked about video games. You were less expressive than you were off the cuff. And everyone has a preference in terms of presentation style. Some people write out their entire script and then they stick to that script. Some people speak more extemporaneously. You are better at extemporaneous, of having bullet points, and you are much more relaxed when you're like, hit me with a word. So know that. Your arms were nicely relaxed at your sides, so that was an excellent improvement. You were a little bit far back, and I also felt that you were really articulate. I'm going to write here, but more, I don't know what I wrote, but I thought that you articulated what you were saying. Like I could hear you, but it just felt a little bit removed, especially given that it was something that you were passionate about. It also felt a little bit like you ran out of steam, and you had like 45 seconds. You had done like half your time. But then I'm glad that you stuck with it and you found more to say and got to a place where you were admitting like, yeah, I've destroyed a monitor. So it was good that you got vulnerable there.
Round of applause.